Little tiny bit of sort of texture in the sky up there, but not really clouds. A nice sort of leading line through. 3-stop hard-edged ND grad to hold the sky back a bit and try and bring some of that little bit of texture out that's there, but there's not much. Okay, sun's coming up now. Good morning everyone. The last few days have been very hot and very humid, so it's made it really difficult to actually get out and do anything. Yeah, and on top of that we've had completely clear blue skies, so there's not been a lot of motivation to go out either morning or evening or even during the day. Certainly not during the day, it's been far too hot. But I've come out this morning just up onto an area called Banyets, which is just north of the port in El Campello. Been here loads of times. We've got a little tiny bit of sort of texture in the sky up there, but not really clouds. We've got pretty flat, calm sea. Originally I set up for a shot kind of over there, looking that way. But I didn't like the way the light was balanced. It was very bright over on the left hand side of the sky and very dark on the other side. So I moved over and I've set a shot up here, which is basically, we've got a pool down here. It's actually kind of a channel that runs around, runs in from here and around. There's a rock down here, but it makes quite a nice sort of leading line through, and then out in the distance we've got a bit of land with some hills, beyond that some mountains, and then right over in the background we've got the Sierra Helada and a little bit of the Benidorm skyline, which is where the sun's coming up, and that's where the colour is. My original thoughts were to go very low down, but if I do that, then this side of the rock here is overlapping with the land out there. I don't want to do that, so I'm a little bit higher up. 16 to 35 lens at 16mm. 3-stop hard-edged ND grad to hold the sky back a bit and try and bring some of that little bit of texture out that's there, but there's not much. F11, ISO 64 and 3 seconds. And even though my foreground isn't that close, I am focus stacking because it doesn't look like that foreground is coming out completely sharp. So we'll give it a go. I don't think it's going to be great though. Okay, sun's coming up now. I've come back around. I tried my original composition that I had set up, but I wasn't liking it. So I've come down close to one of these baths, the rock pools. They're actually part of an old fish farm. And as the sun's coming up, I got the sun on the horizon, top left hand third corner, and then the shape of the rock pool, the little arch. 3-stop hard edged ND grad, 16mm, f11, ISO 64, half a second, focus stacking, one right on the foreground, one out on the distance. And I'm going to do one more focus right out on the distance at f16 and another one at f22, just to see if I can pull a sun star out, but I doubt it. Okay, so the sun's up now. We are about 20 minutes after sunrise and I'm setting up for one final shot. What I'm trying to do is fit in this whole area here, which is partly eroded, but it's also got the main shapes of the rectangular pools in. I've gone for a high vantage point to try and fit it all in. The way the composition is set up at the moment, there's an awful lot of blue sky in there. There's even some foreground that I don't want, but that's okay. I'm going to crop this down 16:9, maybe even 2:1, just to try to make it the focus all about those rock pools and the shape of the rocks. Now, one of the challenges with this is the way the rocks are shaped. It kind of makes the scene look unbalanced, so I don't know if it's going to work. I've got a boat going past at the moment, so I'm waiting for that to go out of the way, because I've put in a 6-stop ND filter to try to get a longer exposure. Because the water movement's all pretty boring, what I've decided to do is flatten it out, and the 6-stop filter's giving me a 15-second exposure, which should be good enough to do that. I've got to wait for that boat to go another 2 or 3 minutes, and hopefully the light won't change too much. And then I think it'll probably be time to go home. Okay, by the time the boat had gone, the light had got a bit brighter. I went out to f13 to keep my 15-second exposure. And I've done the shot. It might be okay. Right, we are half an hour after sunrise now. Sun's getting pretty high. Light's starting to get harsh, and it's already starting to get warm. It's not supposed to be quite as warm today. I think maybe a degree or two cooler, and then over the next couple of days it's hopefully going to cool down a bit more. So hopefully it will be getting a bit easier to get out and about, because the last few days it's just been too hot. And I think what I'm going to do now is pack up and head for home before it gets too warm. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed the video. If you have, don't forget about hitting that subscribe button if you're not already a subscriber, and also please consider giving it a like or a share or both. And of course, I'd love to hear from you. Comments down below, let me know what you think. And that's it. Thank you very much for watching, and until the next video, bye.